Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Games and Must, the podcast where we talk about all things board games, video games, and pop culture. We're so excited that you're here. I'm very excited to have Josh here. Josh, I'm gonna probably mispronounce your last name, but Josh, how do you say your last name?
Saleh, like Cirque du Soleil.
Saleh. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Cirque du Soleil. Josh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for joining us here. Josh is the creator of the up-and-coming party game, guys. Here we go. Change my mind. Oh, you guys, you need to check this game out. It is amazing. It is fun. If you like yelling at your friends, get this game. It's such a fun game. We're going to dive deep into it. But I'm very excited, Josh. Thank you so much for joining us here on the podcast here at Gamesymaspod. Guys, once again, if you guys want to ask any questions for the podcast, you can find us on all socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube at Gamesymaspod. Or if you want to email us, we're at gamesymaspod@gmail.com. That's gamesymaspod@gmail.com. And with further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So guys, pull up a chair, grab some dice y acompáñeme a jugar. So Josh, we have an icebreaker question that we'd like to do here at Gamesymas. It's a two-parter. I always like to do two-parters so you can answer either one, or if you want to answer both, it's up to you. And this is how we get to know more about who we're talking with here. How you get? I feel like as a board gaming podcast and video game, we get to know more of your taste here and stuff like. So the question is, first part is, what is your favorite board game of all time? All time favorite board game. And I'm including, again, card games, dice games, tabletop games, any type of games. Could be one from your childhood, could be one that you played last week and you're like, this is my favorite game. Could be like that. And then the second part one is, what is your favorite video game of all time? Again, it could be arcade, it could be console, PC, anything like that. I'll give you a good 30 seconds to figure it out. You might have it now. You know, it doesn't matter if you need to look up whatever you got to look up. It's fine.
You say icebreaker. You're like creating avalanches here, man.
I know. That's why it's the iceberg. You know, we're on the top level. We're gonna go deep.
Let's go deep.
Yeah.
Okay, so favorite game of all time since I was a kid, Risk. I would say.
Okay.
I don't play it as much anymore, but I love that strategy, global domination, building alliances, and then breaking them down in the end. As a kid in middle school and high school, my best friends and I would watch all 3 Lord of the Rings movies in director's cut while playing Risk for like 8 hours, 10 hours a day.
Oh my goodness!
So those are like my favorite types of games. For video games, I'm a huge gamer, man. I had the Sega Genesis as a kid. I have N64. I have every single console because I just love video games. Yeah. I can't give a favorite, but I'm going to give like top 3, top 5.
Oh, go ahead. Let's go. Let's run it.
Half-Life, Uncharted series, Last of Us series, God of War series, and I think Mass Effect.
Mass Effect? The series?
Yeah, the series. Yeah.
Are we including Andromeda in that?
Andromeda wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I loved Andromeda. I never got to finish it though, because it got a little too massive for me, and I was like playing other games at the same time. So I was like, I put that in the back burner, and I never ended up playing. Half-Life. Are we talking just Half-Life? Or are we talking Blue Shift? Are we talking Operation? Operation? Are we talking Half-Life 2, episodes 1
Half-Life 2, the Half-Life 1, 2, and then what was it, 2 part 2 or something? The parts?
Yeah, like parts, the part 2.
Yeah, I didn't play Alex though. I don't have a Steam VR.
VR, I've been wanting to play Alex for a while.
I play so bad.
Amazing.
Okay, what's your favorite Assassin's Creed game if you're an Assassin's Creed fan?
Oh, I love Assassin's Creed. Oh, it's funny you say that, because I'm on this big Assassin's Creed journey where I'm trying to 100% every single game.
Dude, that's gonna take you years.
So I've 100% Assassin's Creed 1 all the way to Odyssey, and that's including the Rogue, Black Flag, and then, Brotherhood as well. Brotherhood and the other one that came out after Brotherhood, Revelations. Yeah. So I've 100% of those games. I started that journey about 5 years ago. I started that game.
Yeah, it's gonna take you years.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm on Odyssey, and I'm stuck on Odyssey because that game is massive.
It's huge. It's huge.
And I don't even want to think about Valhalla either, dude, because I'm just scared. Because I'm like, dude, that game is just too much. But I'm slowly chugging away. Okay, so this is a big controversy, but I enjoyed it a lot, mostly because of the gameplay of it. But I loved Unity. I loved
Unity.
Yes, I loved Unity. I loved that whole French Revolution, but I also loved, because I think it has the best parkour mechanics of all the Assassin's Creed games.
You're the siblings in Unity, right? You're the siblings?
No, that's Syndicate. That's
Syndicate. Okay.
That's the one when you're in London.
Okay, that's
Unity is the one where you're in France.
When you play.
yeah, you're Victor. Yeah, I was like, oh, he has my name. But yeah, I just like the mechanics of that game. I mean, yeah, I could see where it gets wonky and buggy, and people would like bash on it. But I mean, if you go back and just look at the like how the mechanics of the game are when you're like parkouring, and that's the one of the main reasons of like Assassin's Creed is how you can parkour, climb these
Yeah.
buildings, things like that. They did it so well, and then Syndicate came out and then just like kind of dropped off the ball in that. That was more about like the gunplay and the twins and switching
It was
off.
buggy too. I remember Syndicate was
It
super buggy.
it was super buggy, yes, dude. And
Yeah.
I was just like, ah, man, like so Unity was my one of my favorites, and then I have to go with two, Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
two, because
too. I mean, Ezio.
Ezio Auditore,
It's
yeah,
just like
yeah,
the
yeah,
best one.
exactly. That's when you could dual blade, and I was like, dude, this is
I'm
so
surprised you
cool.
have Unity over Black Flag.
So I liked Black. Yes. So oh man, Black Flag is up there too. Damn, yeah. Now you're making me remember. I liked Black Flag, but I it, I'm a big sucker for like parkour stuff. I love like when you
Mm.
get to jump over buildings and stuff like that. And you could do that at Black Flag, but it's like
Yeah, but
more.
it wasn't more ship combat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more about the ships, discovering
Yeah.
the islands. And that game took me forever to 100%, by the way, because it was big.
Oh man, I imagine
Um,
the ship is so slow. Oh
yeah.
god.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Seriously, I was like, I would literally put it on the fat, like when you like, I think if you push X something, and then you're going fast, and it like zooms out the camera.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I literally like let it sail, and I'd be on my phone just waiting to get to my
You're
next island.
just waiting to get to the place.
Yeah. I just started waiting. I'm like, "Oh, I'm back." So, like, I wouldn't be paying attention. That's how crazy it was. Um, but, yeah, yeah, I love Black Flag. Black Flag was good. Being Edward, that was pretty cool how it was like a prequel to the 3rd one, how you're like the dad and stuff like it, which is
Yeah, yeah,
I like
yeah.
the
The big
storyline
twist,
was
the big
good.
twist was good too.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was those.
Doing that one.
But I love your top 5 though. Your top 5. Half-Life, man, yeah, the Half-Life was like what started Steam, what started everything all. It just started
Yeah. I
the whole
thought that was great.
shebang.
Orange box, all that stuff. I
Yes.
had the orange
Oh my
box.
goodness. Yeah, play
Yeah.
and then you got, Counter Strike came out from there and all that stuff from
Yeah, I
Valve,
got
Team
Counter
Valve.
Strike. Yeah.
The Uncharted games, amazing games. Oh my goodness.
So good. I love a story game. I love a story-driven
Yes,
game.
yes.
Yeah.
And Naughty Dog does such a good job with just
Yeah.
providing. So I mean, Last of Us and Uncharted. I've had many battles with Uncharted fans versus Tomb Raider fans, um,
Ooh.
and I've been like, listen, I love Tomb Raider. I mean, the newer ones tell a good story, but you can't. They got nothing on my boy Nathan Drake, man.
They
Like
don't. I agree. I agree. I agree.
he's great. What do you think about the movie though? The one with Tom Holland.
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
I
a lot of things I didn't agree with.
yeah, exactly. There was a lot of yeah, angry gamer rant right here. I was like, you know what? Okay, I love Tom Holland. He's great. He's awesome, and I mean, he's great as a young Nathan Drake. Okay, that's cool, But like when you're showing scenes from like the 3rd game, I'm like that's when he's older though. Like you got to show like some like prequel stuff, and like I was just like, I liked it, but I wasn't really too sold with Mark Wahlberg being Sully. It
I was
was
that's where I wasn't sold either. I wasn't sold on that. I wasn't
I
sold on
was just
that.
like I was
I
like I don't
didn't
see
see
you
Sully
Sully,
in
bro.
him. I was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, nah. I was like, nah. But I mean, it's good. It's right. It's entertaining. It's not, it's kind of the
I think
curse with
it's a popcorn movie.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, great,
Yeah.
great popcorn movie. But again, it sadly fell into those curses of when you make video games out of movies, you really fall short on a lot of that stuff. So it's like it's very hard to do that stuff. I will say though, shout out to the Fallout series though. The first,
I was
I think,
literally just about to talk about Fallout. I just finished
yeah,
episode 2.
I'm on episode. I finished episode 1.
Yeah.
I'm ready to start 2, but they're doing a great job. Bethesda,
You did a great
I
job.
mean, they did an amazing job. I mean, and
Yeah.
that's what I feel like it's easier to do movies like that or shows like that because Fallout is such a like every game is different. You're a different character,
Yeah.
different story within the Fallout universe. So it's like this is like I compared like all right, we're watching Fallout 5 live action.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is a
yeah.
new character mixed in with a lot of things of the lore. Again, I haven't seen the full show, so I don't know. I'm giving it praise, but who knows? My episode 3
It's
might
good.
like
It's
suck.
really good so
Yeah,
far. Every Fallout game's like, I need to find my son, or I need to find my dad, or I need to find
yeah,
like every,
exactly.
and even the show is like that. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
everyone's just trying
we
to
gotta
find
get
their
we gotta
home.
get our dad. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we
like,
gotta
no,
find our dad.
yeah, it's like it's not a good time to be a Fallout character because you always lose
No,
family
never is.
members. You
Never
always
is.
lose family. So, but yeah, dude, yeah, Fallout series is cool. But there you guys have it, folks. Though you have it here. You have Josh's favorite video games, favorite board game, Risk. I love Risk, dude. Risk is such a fun game.
It's
I love
great.
playing I love playing the different versions because I have 3 Risks. I have the original, I have Halo Risk,
Oh,
and then I
Halo.
have that one's a fun one. Oh man, it's Halo
Whoa.
1 Risk, and then you have I have a Walking Dead Risk. That one's
Oh,
fun.
I have Lord of the Rings risk, Lord of the Rings and regular risk.
Oh man, I want Lord of the Rings. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan.
Yes, let's go.
Best trilogy ever made, ever, hands down. Nothing comes down
Best,
to it. No,
best.
you can. I always, and I said this in previous podcasts. You guys can find me all you want, but you're gonna lose a battle when it comes to Lord of the Rings of like with the top trilogy movies of all time. Lord of the Rings is up there.
Lord of the
Like I
Rings.
always, yeah, extended cuts, best. I mean, literally, Lord of the, Return of the King, hands down, has like the most Oscar win of like,
Yeah,
any
yeah.
movie
I
that I know
still
of. Like,
think to this day it has the most Oscar wins. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and like, how
yeah.
can you beat that? Like,
It's the
it's
best.
just, oh man, like I just get every time I watch that movie, I get chills. I just love watching those
I
movies,
need to
dude.
see
It's
it
just,
again. It's been some years. It's been some years.
yeah, well, you gotta dedicate some time for those because
Yeah,
that's like a full day right there if you're watching the extended cuts after the other
literally,
one. So
literally.
you need to though. But all right, so let's get into this meat of this podcast, dude. Let's talk about Change My Mind. Here we go, guys. You guys have it here. Change My Mind. Um, very fun game. I mean, you told when we first met, you said that you made this game like in 2 weeks, and then like you're out here.
Yeah.
You're killing the game. You're killing it over here with the party game scene, stuff like that. So I want to pick your brain a little bit. So let's go with the big question of why change my mind. What got you into this realm of creating this amazing party game? Yeah, like walk me down like what your process of like why'd you want to create this game here for
Yeah,
us?
great question. So, man, I love board games. I own about 80 board games in my life. I've been playing board games since
Ooh.
I was like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years old.
Mhm, mhm,
And I never thought I'd ever make one. That was never like a part of my life or part of my journey or my goals. Like I need to do this in my life. But last January, I was driving down from the Bay Area where my family is down to LA, where I live. And I was listening to some podcasts and they were ranking Marvel movies and they were just talking for an hour about like the best Marvel movies out there. And they were just
mhm,
going at it. And I do this all the time with my friends, right? What's your favorite video game? What's your favorite board game? Like, how can I like hear your rankings and then tell you mine and then tell you why you're wrong?
Yeah,
But like in a fun way, right? You're not like
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
not like a personal way.
Right, right.
And that's like a big thing with my nerd. With like, I'm a nerd with like nerds. Like we just love to like hear people's rankings. I mean, your first question of this podcast was, "What are your top video games and more games?"
Mhm,
And then you just want to hear people's opinions because everyone has them, and you want to talk and
mhm.
you want to get to know someone. It's like that's a way to
Exactly.
deep dive into getting to know someone. I went home and I was just like, okay, well that was cool. Like let me go to sleep. And so I went to sleep and I was like, is there a game that exists where people rank, but not only just rank stuff, but debate? Like they get into like an
Mm,
actual debate of it because there's
mhm.
tons of rank games out there. You have like the
Right.
trolley cart game, you have the rank game, you have priorities, which came out in UK, and those are great rank games which allow you to just rank 5 random topics and just choose. It's
Right.
like, okay, but there doesn't exist a debate mechanic. You're not like arguing with someone. You're not trying to change anyone's opinions. And so I
Right.
was like, the other thing that these games are missing are super dirty humor. Like I loved Cards
Mhm.
Against Humanity in college. Like I loved that game. Literally everybody in the world has a copy of that game on their
Oh yeah.
shelf.
Yeah,
It
for
is
sure,
it
for
is
sure.
just the biggest party game in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't I take dirty humor and then make it a debate? Because it takes that like random, ranking Disney movies is great, but when you rank like the worst place to do cocaine, like that's just like you're like, what are
Yeah,
we talking about? Like this is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And so the first 2 nights, like January 1st and January 2nd of 2023, I wrote 250 cards of just like
Okay.
the most random stuff, and I printed them out with Game Crafter, which is a like an early production thing. They got here in February, and then I just play tested the heck out of it from like
Mhm.
February all the way till it came out. And my friends were like, "This is great. Does this exist? What is happening? Is this game? Can I buy this?" I
Yeah.
was like, "Well, why not? Why can't this be for sale? This is going really well. The playtests are going really well. I'm going to random bars and breweries in LA and playing with strangers." Now, at the
Mhm.
time, they were just like literally Cards Against Humanity, like cards, like black on one side, white on the other. And I was thinking about different names like Squabble or You're Wrong or You Idiot. But I came out with change my. I was like change my mind. I was like the other ones are too strong.
You
Um,
idiot would have been funny.
you
Like,
idiot would have been. I was like you
"Hey,
idiot.
you wanna play, you idiot? What'd you call me?
Yeah.
No, you idiot." It's like, "Oh."
And I just feel like if you saw You Idiot on a shelf, you'd be like, what is that?
Yeah. Like, "What?
Why is this game
Hey."
calling me out?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
"Yo, what's up with this?" Yeah,
yeah, but then I was
definitely.
like, well, you know what? Target, Walmart, they might not want to shelf something that's called them You Idiot.
Yeah.
And so I came up with Change My Mind, and from there, I hired a graphic designer, Erica. She's incredible from Brazen Babes. And I wanted something that would like be colorful and vibrant and that showed like the showcase of something that would stop someone walking down the aisle. So that's basically where
Mhm.
the inception came from, of me just loving to debate with friends, loving to hear people's opinions, putting my mind into a box. I was always that friend that was like, would you rather like lick a goat? Lick a goat's like like face, or like have a dog lick your butt. Like, I don't know, like it's like the most random stuff. Like, I don't know,
Right,
like I'm
right, yeah, yeah.
close to that one. Yeah. So I just put my mind into a box and I was like, okay, now debate.
Yeah, nice. Okay, nice. I
Yeah.
like that mentality. I like it what you said with the, would you rather. I do that with my coworkers all the time. Of course, it's
Yeah.
like, NSFW versions, that we come up. We always come up with some dirty stuff,
Yeah.
especially with
Yeah.
the sad boys. Yeah, Omar always be coming up with some weird questions. I'm like, bro, like what in the world? Like, what was
Yeah.
that? He's
That's exactly
he's
who
like,
I
answer
am.
the question, dog. I'm like, oh, okay.
Answer the question, man.
It's like, answer. This is life or death. Answer it. I'm like, oh, okay. I choose this. And he's like, bro, you're disgusting, dude. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You asked it. Like, bro, you asked the
It's
question.
always, yeah, it's so
That's
funny.
that's funny. Okay, cool. So how did that idea come up with like because I feel like when you were creating this game, it was easy to like just pull up the card, give your list, and then everyone just starts debating. But you created a mechanic where it's like you have your tiles, you want to
Mhm.
match everyone's tiles, you want to do those things, and I think that's genius. That's awesome. That is really cool
Thank
how
you.
you did that.
Yeah.
Because like yeah, it could be an easy game where it's like we just have cards and like, all right, guys, red flags, like A, B, and C, D. All right, these are my rankings, and everyone just starts arguing, yelling, and stuff like that. But now you have something that's structured. Now we're
Mhm.
following some rule sets, and it's just not chaos. But like, how did those tile systems come into play for you like that, stuff like
Yeah.
that?
We tried a bunch of different things. So the first way, I always wanted something like in your hand, like poker chips type of thing, something you could play with
Okay.
and kind of flip over to
Mm,
reveal.
mhm,
So I always had envisioned they were going to be punch board materials early,
mm,
but they just felt kind of bad quality and not to my liking. And when you play with the wooden tiles, you can kind of feel and like kind of shuffle them in your hands like poker
mhm.
chips, and they just have this
Yeah.
nice tactile feel to them, which I really liked. So I tested that first and it went really well. But then a lot of feedback was like, well, I think there should be cards because cards will be in my hand. They'll be easier to read rather than tiles. Like I'm having a hard time remembering what I put. It's like, okay,
Mhm,
yeah, that's good feedback. Let me try it. So
mhm.
we tried cards, but we realized that when people used cards, they got more internal and quiet because they retracted away from the table with their
Mhm.
cards like poker rather than being
Ah,
open
okay.
with tiles in front of them. And I
Interesting.
was like,
Okay.
okay, that's not what I want. I don't want people to be hidden and like have their cards in front of them. I want them to be open at a table and be ready to yell. Uh,
Mhm,
so
mhm.
so we went back to tiles, and I wanted it to be a way that everyone can see the tile so big enough, and then people can like see it actually changing and moving around. A
Right,
lot of
right.
people in the board game industry will say, you know what, you should move away from kind of components like wooden and plastic and stick with cards because it's cheaper and makes the product lower and better
Mhm,
margins. But I don't know. I believe in quality. I want something
mhm.
that people can hold on to and feel, and it feels like a good game. And you
Yeah,
don't really see these games having wooden pieces, I guess, because of margins probably.
yeah.
But I don't know. Like I want a game that people are like, if you didn't remember the game itself, at least you felt something, and that tactile feel recalled
Right,
something in your memory.
right.
So, yeah.
No, yeah, I like that. Like I said, here's a little of the tiles right here that you have here. That and like it's funny you said because they feel like poker chips. So when we were playing, I was holding them like poker chips. I'm just like
Yeah.
waiting for the guy to make the decision. I'm just like, oh, what we got here? I'm over here like counting my chips, like
Yeah, yeah.
and like it's for me who has like a mild form of ADHD where I gotta like be holding
Same.
something like the chips are perfect. I'm just holding them, waiting, and it's
Yeah.
my turn to choose. And like yeah, it's very genius. I love the structure of the game is very awesome. I love playing it. It's simple to learn and just so much fun to like just yell at people. Like it gives you an excuse to just yell at people without
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
in trouble. Where it's like, I want to yell at you. Let's play a game. All right, cool. And so like you come up with fun games here. I have one of the examples of one of the cards you have here, like the Raise of the
Oh,
Dead.
yeah. That's a good one.
Um, Good question. Like, so when you came up with these questions and things of like that, did you individually just come up with every single one of these questions, or were you like, let me just look up some generic stuff and then just pre-generate? Or were you thinking like, all right, this card's gonna be this like that? Because if you did, bro, you got the craziest mind ever, and I love it, bro. Because like you have so many good stuff up here, so many good like really hard choices, dude. I was like, we were playing with the Sad Boys a couple weeks ago. I was like dang, this is such a hard question. Like, I don't know if I want to do best to worst or worst to best. Like, this is hard. And like, I was like thinking, we spent like a good like 2 hours or maybe like 2 hour, 2.5 hours just like playing this game, trying to figure out like most of the time it was like we're waiting on the guy to choose. We're like, bro, come on. He's like, dude, this is hard. I can't figure this out. And we're like, well, just go. Best to worst. And like debates, like again, a fun game. But so you saying that you came up with all these questions like
Yeah.
individually?
Came
How
up
long
with
did
all
that
of them. I asked them for, so I'd think of so many different ways. So if something happened in my life, I'd be like, ooh, this would be a great category. I would
Mhm.
I would ask friends, be like, hey, this is a category I'm thinking of. Do you have like options that you can add to it, or like we can like
Okay.
talk? So I have a few friends that are really good at creative like that. But yeah, I created all of them. I didn't use AI or any of that stuff. I didn't like
Mhm.
look up random stuff and steal from other
Mhm.
people.
Right, right.
I basically I just like took like what people do in everyday life, whether it be like
Mhm.
you could I don't know how NSFW we can get on this podcast.
You can go ahead. It's fine. It's fine. This is all bars. Everything goes on this podcast, so you can go
one
ahead.
of one of my favorite cards is worst to yell while having an orgasm or while orgasming.
Oh my goodness.
And it's like don't tell mom, like, comment, and subscribe, Heil Hitler,
Oh no.
and like I wish you were alive, and stuff
Oh
like
my
that. And I
goodness.
literally was just like, I was at home one day and I was like, oh, worst yell while orgasming. That's really good. Like, okay, what's the worst thing to yell? Like, what would be the worst
Yeah.
thing if your partner yelled? Like, okay, let's just start
Yeah.
writing down stuff. And I wrote down like 12 options. I was like, okay,
Oh my
let's
goodness.
edit and remove some. Yeah, just like everyday themes that you see on like online and like you see in life. Like everyone
Mhm.
talks about like, oh my God, I would never want to walk into my parents having sex. It's like, okay, would you rather walk into your parents having sex or walk on glass or be on
Oh.
a deserted island or have a
Yeah.
million mosquito bites?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I just like all my stuff in my life. I just took and put them into cards, and yeah, I was always that kid who was just like,
Mhm.
yeah.
That
All
is
my
so
friends that played it, they're like, "This is you in a box." I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
right. Like, this is literally you, dog. Like I we don't even need to hang out with anymore because I could just play this game and I'm
yeah,
just in my
literally."
recording.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to do
If you
anything else.
want to step into my mind, that's the game.
Yeah, I love it though. No, this is hey, I love your mind. Your mind is awesome because like we think similarly and like I love all the NSFW stuff. I love the friendly stuff. Like it's just it builds a lot of fun dialogue. And like honestly, like if we're getting deep with this, like it's
Yeah,
built some good conversations. Even
yeah,
as silly as the game is, it's
yeah,
built some conversations like, oh bro, you thought that was the word? Like, let me share some stuff. Like and it's like
yeah, yeah,
it's like it's a brilliant game to like have a conversation starter.
yeah,
I would bring this to like some friends, obviously not the NSFW for like certain friends, but I'd bring like the family friends one, and like I would whip this out and be like, hey, icebreaker, we all probably don't aren't familiar with each other. Let's just play a quick game of this, and let's just get in each other's brains and see what we think
yeah,
is worst, best, last, and then that just develops more conversation. And like, bro,
yeah,
you just created like a perfect icebreaker game that we can play and
yeah.
enjoy and have fun and whip it out whenever we want.
Also, you were mentioning like, telling stories with friends and people
Mhm.
you don't know. You
Yeah.
create these inside jokes with the group you play
Yes.
with. And then the next
Yes.
week, the next day, you're like, dude, do you remember you said this? Or like you say something, you recall something before.
Yes. Yes.
It's so fun. I was at this convention called Gamma, where I
Mhm.
showcased the game to distributors and retail stores,
Right.
and every night they played it. And these people who don't know each other, these strangers, 8 of them at a table, like every night they're
Mhm.
shuffling around,
Mhm.
and they're like yelling about, like what's the worst thing to put in your butt? And these are like, these are like executives in like businesses, and
Yeah.
it's insane. And one of these guys comes up to me and he goes, hey, I work for this company. I've worked with these people for 17 years. I've never heard them swear, say anything dirty or whatever. And you just had
Yeah.
my entire company talk about the worst thing to have in their butt, and I cannot stop laughing right now. I don't know how you did that, but this is ridiculous. And then they came up to me the
Oh,
next day of the convention. They're like, hey, yo, it's that. And I was
yeah.
like, it was just so
Yo, change
ridiculous.
my mind, guy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah,
that is awesome. That's an awesome story to hear. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Be like, "Sir, you're the owner of Hulu. What are you doing over here coming up with something like, hey, it's a great fun game to play." Yeah, I mean, it's a great game to get out of your shell,
yeah,
yell, debate, get stuff off your chest if you need to. It could be like a
yeah,
mini therapy session.
yeah.
Where we're playing Change My Mind. We're trying to change each other's minds. It's fun. It was funny because I had when we're playing with the Sad Boys, we're at the table playing, and my wife was watching TV. I think she was watching Lord of the Rings,
Hey.
and we're just arguing, and and, and my wife was like, "You guys are insane! Like all I heard was just like you guys were just talking about like dicks and like all these other things and stuff like that, and like." You guys are just going insane. Like, what were you doing? We're playing Change My Mind. It was fun. It's like you guys are weird and nasty. And I was like, come join us. She's like, no, I don't want to be all weirded out and stuff like that. We're playing these games. I'm like, it's a fun game. You'll love it. You enjoy it. Trust me. It's a cool game. But for those that are watching, listening, again, Change My Mind. You kind of gave a brief overview. In fact, if you want to give like a 2-minute overview of what the game is, we've talked about
Yeah,
how you made the game.
yeah.
Let's for those listening and watching, what is Change My Mind? What is Change My Mind? Give us your spiel. Give us your elevator pitch of what
Elevator
Change My
pitch.
Mind is. Yeah.
Yeah, so Change My Mind is a party game for loud people. It's all about ranking and debating absurd topics. So a ranker will start, choose a card, read it out loud, and decide how they want to rank the card, best to worst or worst to best. Now you can get super creative, and you don't have to follow the best to worst or worst to best prompts. You can, for example, if you choose the hottest Chris card, and it's like Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, you could choose your ranking to be the Chris you want to have dinner with, the Chris that would win in a fight, the Chris who has the biggest dick. Like it's totally up to you how you want to rank that card.
Yeah.
You will rank it secretly with your tiles from top to bottom. Everyone around the table tries to guess your rankings. If they know who you are, great. If they don't, that's even better. Everyone puts their tiles face down. The ranker reveals. Now everyone gets to yell and debate at the ranker to try and change their order, change their mind, because you want to match with the ranker. So even if you're strangers, you still have a voice at the table. You can still try and change someone's opinion, whether that mechanic where it's like a Cards Against Humanity, what do you mean mechanic is gone, where they just choose one card and that's it. You don't have a voice. So
Right.
I wanted to move away from that mechanic of one judge, one rule set, and just be like, no, all this is a table match, y'all. This is a ladder match. Go crazy. Like, do whatever you can to change their mind. And so once the minds are changed, maybe it's not, maybe they're stubborn, they're locked in, or they're open and they're moving stuff around. The ranker locks it in. Everyone reveals. Whoever has the most matches wins the card. And so you play to 3 until you're bored. And yeah, typically what happens, I played this yesterday with some new people. Some people were like, oh, bring your game. I met like 17 new people. And we played with 17 people. The game's only up to 8, but I brought extra tiles. And it was,
Oh, wow.
I had to close all the windows of the apartment because we were yelling for we played for 2.5 hours. It was insane.
Oh, wow.
And everyone was just like yelling at each other. And it was like 16 people yelling at one person.
Yeah. Oh, no.
It was so funny. And then after that, like 4 people bought the game. And I was like, well, this is great. Like I just went to the trunk of my car and I grabbed them and I handed them out. And I was like, well, this is great.
Nice.
So,
That's so cool. Dang, 16 people. That's a big party.
I don't recommend it. I don't recommend 16 people. Yeah, because you just can't hear anything.
It's just chaos from that point on. It's like
chaos.
just put the game away. Just start yelling at each other. Might as well.
Yeah. You end up just yelling at the person next to you because you just have a mini argument with the person next to you, and then it's just like mini arguments.
You forget who you're trying to change your mind. Try and change the guy next to you. You're like, oh no, you gotta change your stuff.
You're just like, you idiot! Why would you put this?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wait, we're trying to convince this guy. Like, no, I'm trying to convince you now, bro. Like,
not trying to convince you because you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Dang, that's a lot of people. Yeah. Guys, I would not recommend 16 people.
No, do not recommend. That's why the game only goes with eight players. 8 players.
8 players. I think 8 players is a perfect amount.
Yeah.
Get your 8 friends over, and if 8 more people want to come over, tell them they have to wait. wait till the next session. Wait till the next game session. Or you guys can watch and then you come into the next one afterwards. And play that one. Which is cool. I am noticing though on the games, you have these other cards here. Some of these like other different types of cards. We didn't get to play them because we were kind of unsure of how this plays out. If you want to give us like a quick overview, like what are these extra cards that come with your game when you purchase it?
So that was a Kickstarter stretch goal that got unlocked during the Kickstarter version. So those cards are not going to. Those are the kind of exclusive cards that won't be in the next batch.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we call them action cards. So if someone didn't have any matches or who had the least amount of matches in one round, they can draw an action card. And that allows them to kind of buff or nerf certain people around the table to kind of change it to add more chaos. So you can force someone to change their rankings to get them less points. You can make someone not speak for a round. It was a way to add a stretch goal in the Kickstarter version. Yeah.
Interesting. I was going through them and I'm like, oh my God, this cause some chaos in this game. Which I love. I like this one. The ones like choose a player and they can't speak for a round. Like that. Can't see it. But yeah, I'm like, dude, I would use that. Like, hey, you shut up. You're not,
you can't speak. Yeah, and now you're creating like rifts, and people are mad at you. And now you're creating personal vendettas.
Yes, exactly. I think it's genius. But you're saying the next batch is not going to have those.
Those are a Kickstarter exclusive for that. Okay. If there's a push, if people are like, well, bring them back, then no problem at all. But we wanted to have our Kickstarter people and the people that bought the first couple copies because they supported us early get that version. And we also noticed that the game is so meaty in itself and so, it's so much debate that a lot of people kind of forget about those action cards because they're just like, oh, this game is just so much as it is. It's so full. So we're like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't think we need to add this anymore because we want to also make the Kickstarter version special and exclusive. So yeah.
Got you. Interesting, interesting. And you guys are you guys fully funded, right? You said you were fully funded on Kickstarter and
Yeah, yeah.
everything.
Last August, we asked for 10,000 and we hit 16,000, which was great.
Oh, congrats. Yeah, I remember,
Yeah,
yeah, you said that when we met at the convention. Yeah, you guys
yeah.
hit that goal, which congratulations on that.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
on blowing up. Like I said, this game, yeah, like I like your post when you're posting on you have the game and you're posting like outside Target or outside Walmart, like
Yeah,
I'm manifesting
yeah.
it here. I'm like, yeah, bro, manifest that, bro. I want to see this game on Target. I want to walk by and be like, hey, I know that game.
Dude,
And
that'd be
like
great.
and like local board game shops, I'd love to see that game playing. Awesome game, man. I congratulate you that. I won't take up too much time of your time here.
You
One
good? You
really
good?
quick one on the podcast here. Fun game, guys. Check it out. It's fun. If you like to debate, which is funny. I was talking to one of my best friends yesterday. Actually, I was telling him about the game, and he's like, "Dude, I love debating." I'm like, "Bro, I got a game for you." And then he's like, and I told him about the game. He's like, "Oh, dude, we gotta play." I'm like, "We will play." I wasn't telling you to suggest it. I'm telling you that we are gonna play it. Like
Looking forward to do it.
you don't have a choice, my friend. We're playing this
You
game.
don't have a choice.
Exactly. And for those and listening, yeah, my best friend Matt, on our first episode of the podcast, we had a debate: PC gaming versus console gaming. Uh,
Ooh.
Going back to change my mind, he would love that game because he loves debating. And
Yeah.
like I'm pretty sure you threw in some video game questions in there that he would destroy those questions and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
We have
debate.
expansions coming out, hopefully
I
in the
was gonna
next
ask
year
about
or
that.
so. I have probably up to 10 expansions that I've been working on. They're like
Ooh.
movies, music, video games, anime, 20s, 30s, 1990s. Yeah, there's
And
just so
you
much. There's so
Bro, you
much.
have a whole world to fill up with
Yeah,
that
man.
stuff,
It's
man.
just
This is
infinite. Like
awesome.
just anime, there's just so many debates in anime.
Oh my
Um,
goodness, there is
yeah.
so much debate on anime, bro. Like I would get down with all my little weep circle that I love
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about anime.
yeah.
What's the worst animes ever? And
Yeah,
just start
yeah,
naming off.
exactly.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man. So you'll have a lot. You'll reach out to a big demographic with that when it comes to anime.
Yeah.
What's the future for Change My Mind? Are you gonna present it to any more conventions, any more
Yes.
areas you're going? What's the future looking like for Change My Mind?
Yeah, we got a lot coming up this year. So we're going to Phoenix Fan Fusion at the end of May. It's about
Oh,
it's
nice.
basically Phoenix's Comic Con. It's going to be about 70,000 people there. So it'll be in the
Okay.
tabletop area. Then
Nice.
in August, we're going to be at Gen Con. We won't have a booth, but we'll be there. We'll have
Okay.
presents. We'll be handing out a bunch of free marketing materials, cards to play at home. And then we're
Nice.
going to be at PAX West in Seattle. So we'll have a booth there.
Oh,
And then
nice.
we're going to be at LA Comic Con. So we'll have a booth there.
Okay, okay.
So we have a lot of conventions coming up,
Yeah,
and
you're a busy
I'm nervous
man.
and excited, and because that's the best way. That's how we met, right? You can teach this game in under 60 seconds, and you know
Yes.
exactly what you're getting. You're like, cool. Can I see myself playing this, or can I not? So
Right,
that
right.
it really takes off at conventions because it's just a quick learn. Yeah.
No, definitely. That's cool. Are you gonna planning on any going back to Con of any of those cons?
I would love to. I think I have to see with the dates that I have for
Yeah.
the other conventions, but I
Mhm,
know Strategicon happen. There's another one that happens in October that I plan on hopefully
mhm.
being at.
I
Yeah, I
think
can't go to
there's one.
this one coming up because I'll be in
Yeah.
Arizona. Yeah,
Right, right, right. Yeah, there's one in October. No, I think it's September, to be honest.
Maybe September.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Strategicon, and then the one in May is GameX.
yeah,
Um,
GameX. Yeah,
yeah, dude. Like I said, fun game. I am excited for the expansions. Your future for that is it's fun, guys.
thank you.
If you're in those cities that Josh mentioned about the and the concept he's going to be going to, go check out this game. It's a fun game. You won't regret it. Even if you're one of those introverts that are shy, like this will get you out of your shell to just like engage in conversation, meet some new people, meet people like you. That maybe think like you, that you thought like you, that would like it and stuff like that. But I guess we'll pause it here for the podcast here. Josh, thank you so much, man. I'm so humbled that you got to take a time to my humble podcast. It's a little podcast I'm trying to grow, but I'm very thankful you took some time out of your busy schedule. I know you're a busy man trying to get this game going, doing a lot of things and work and all that stuff. So very thankful. I'm very appreciative. Thank you so much. Appreciate for you coming on the podcast. Do you want to plug in your game, your Instagram, where they can find you? How they can support anything like that. That you want
Yeah.
to
Well,
plug in?
first I want to thank you for having me. Like, you're say a humble small podcast. We all have to start somewhere. So like, I'm just happy to
Exactly.
be here. I'm grateful to be
Oh,
here.
thank you.
And like, thank you so much. I really connect with people. When we met at Strategicon, I was like, oh my God, these guys are awesome. They're
Yeah,
all about
definitely.
energy and they're all about like conversation. So
Hmm.
thank you so much.
Oh, no, thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic. Like, just your impression was awesome. And yeah, you guys can follow the game at Change My Mind the Game. It's on TikTok, it's on Instagram. We're on Amazon, we're on a website, changemymindthegame.com. You can always follow me at Josh Saleh, where I also post a bunch of stuff too. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, I'll put all the links on the description
Oh, thank you.
below.
Yeah.
On YouTube, I'll put it on Spotify, everywhere you got, wherever you guys are listening to our amazing voices here. Wherever you got, go ahead, check out this game. Once again, I can't rave about this game. Just like the Witches and Digits game, how it's gonna blow up. This game's gonna blow up. I'm telling you, man. I have a good feeling about this game. But yes, this game will be. Check it out. I'm calling it out. It's gonna be in Target, Walmart. So keep an eye out, guys, for those guys, or go to your local board game. Tell them about this game. Tell them to put it on their shelves.
It's
Get
true.
this game on shelves. Let's get
Yeah.
it going. Have some fun. I'm excited for the expansions. And yeah, I guess we'll end it here. Josh, again, thank you so much for joining us. And guys, nos vemos para la próxima.